There are three major additions to the newly created Cyberlux Defense Division: Major General Cameron Holt, Brett Velikovich, Sergeant Major Martin Moore. Obviously, a strong camaraderie has been built, and you did mention there are more earlier. Now, I'm going to put a link to their info below, as well as to all the links of all the Cyberlux connections. That way, you guys could dig deeper. You know, their Twitter, OTC link, website, all that stuff. So happy reading, guys. But Mark, if you could tell us a little bit about each of these guys and why they are so crucial, not only to the defense division, but the overall growth of Cyberlux.
Certainly. So let me start with Major General Holt, first of all. So Major General Holt retired from the Air Force, I think within the last 6 months or so. And he ran all of procurement for the Air Force. So that might have some benefit to us, as you might imagine. He has been instrumental in helping us move the business that we have right now through processes that I'm looking at it as a competitive advantage, quite frankly. And it's the connections are from the top to the bottom for Major General Holt. We speak frequently when we need to get something done. He's there, and I've really appreciated the amount of support he's provided. And it seemed like a natural that he would be the foundation of our defense advisory board. Sergeant Major Moore comes from the 5th group. So when you think about the types of customers that we might be serving, special operations is certainly an underpinning of all of that. So when you're in an operational role like Sergeant Major Moore, you have very deep connections with operators. With some of the things that we're working on, we have to have that operational level expertise because of the environments that we're training and deploying things in. So he's vital to that. In fact, I spoke with him earlier today. He's on his way to some very big meetings this week on our behalf. And it's just remarkable to have people that have those connections that are actually working with this team. And so as you think about that opportunity window we talked about earlier, this is one of those benefits that we're getting is people see what we're doing and they want to be involved. And, I can't put anything more on that, but I will say the results are going to be demonstrative of that. Now, Brett, Brett is a brother of the front. I met Brett in Kyiv. We put some shareable stuff up there, but I don't think it's anybody's. I don't think there's any new information to say that Brett has been working with the drone teams in Ukraine from the very beginning. He saw an opportunity to use his expertise. And I don't know that people know this necessarily, but Brett was a Delta Force intelligence officer. So he's very, very good at understanding the operational environment and what the requirements are and what the capabilities that are needed and how to help. And he also puts himself right in the line of fire, which is remarkable. So he's one of the heroes we get to work with. We had the opportunity to be together in certain environments that were someday I look forward to having another fireside chat when we can actually talk about some of the things. But we formed a relationship in an environment where you either can depend on each other, or you can't. And so he was fundamental in us getting the first things done. Look forward to having him fully involved and very, very excited with that.
Awesome. Share structure and share buybacks, of course.
Yep.
You have maintained a share structure with an outstanding share count of 5 billion. So the CYBL board has approved 19.5 million allocated to share buybacks, and this is a clear indication you would like to get the outstanding share count down naturally to increase shareholder value.
Sure.
You guys have already committed to not implementing a reverse split. You recently said that you will be doing buybacks in $2 to $4 million increments. My question is this: will this be a reduction of the outstanding share count, preferred B shares, which you did tweet out about that before, or will it be a combination of both?
We're going to take common out of the market and put it in treasury. That's the bottom line. And listen, the ongoing buyback strategy, particularly given the markets that we're serving now, is always going to be a balance between what's going to return the most value to our shareholders. It would be a disservice for me to put, the $20th million into the buyback if it's only going to raise the return to investors by, I don't know, 1%, let's say, where I could maybe put that $1 million into a new product that's going to yield, a tremendous amount of revenue. Think about what we just reported in third quarter, where we put $3.9 million in the third quarter into product IP development, research and development. That was done for a reason, and it's going to end up having, a 10x return, maybe more actually. And so I think we have to always evaluate that next dollar. Now, we're committed to doing buybacks on an ongoing basis. And but I do think that the shareholders need to recognize that we'll always make decisions that will optimize their return on investment from our next incremental capital.
And just one other thing, just to add onto that. In my experience, buybacks have a weird effect on things. So like it causes a butterfly effect. It causes a lot of other buying because the share price tends to go up relatively quickly. A lot of people who have sell orders in currently, like as we speak right now, pull their sell orders because they don't want to be the idiot that sells it at $1.05 when it goes up to 6 cents real quick, and then they look like an idiot the next day. You know what I mean? So they all pull their thing, which means that all the market makers can't react. I mean, look, they're reacting fast, but like remember, if everybody pulls their sell order at the same time, they just have to keep raising the ask up. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's like an unofficial short squeeze. It sounds stupid, but it's really how it works. The only rules of the buyback are you can't buy any stock in the first half hour the market opens and the last half hour before it closes, just for like market manipulation purposes, for like painting the tape, they call it,
Yeah, I think to build on what Brett said, I think first of all, I hope our shareholders recognize I'm not a stock guy. I am in the stock because of the company. I'm a company builder. So all of this kind of activity is going to be outsourced to a third party to do, right? There's just nothing that I'm involved in. We'll make the algorithm out about when we think buybacks need to happen, and we hand that off to the third party. I mean, let's call it EF Hutton or JP Morgan or whoever. Right, they're going to be doing that set of work. All I want is the amount of money we commit be executed. We'll let the shareholders know post fact that it's happened, and we move on. And I'm not going to be involved in any of the decision making on that. We will be evaluating, like I said, the incremental capital investment on something new to the market, product, technology wise. Or, is it better at this point to take some more out of the common and put it in treasury? So that's our strategy. That's our general philosophy. I just want to make it clear that this is not something that the company does. This is something that the company enables. We'll make the deposit of the capital and the third party management of it, again, create the algorithm that does the buying, and there you go. It's literally going to go from the market into the treasury.
Yeah, back to transfer agent then treasury. I mean, it is a pretty solid plan. I mean, because like the stock literally goes back to the transfer agent the exact same day that it's purchased. The outstanding share count goes down pretty much the next morning. I mean, it's like, remember, if shares disappear from the ability to be resold, it's like other shares have to be bought or sold. I mean, it's the pie's getting smaller. I mean, that's how it works.